Didn't Joe Biden just send $105 billion over to Ukraine and Israel? Didn't he just send $105 billion over there? What you mean you can't defer my student loans? Don't you see how high gas is? Don't you see how high food is right now, lady? Like, people got real life shit going on and you talking about you can't defer them. What you mean? We got problems on top of problems in America. We got problems on top of problems. We already done had the war on drugs. We done had the war on terror. We done had the war on poverty. All these different wars happening in America, and they worrying about what's going on over there. That don't really make sense. What it do? I'm Bobby, aka the Augusta CarGuy. Thank y'all for tuning in to Side Hustle the CEO podcast. I go out and get the information from the people who got it and I bring it back to my platform for us, the people who need it. Future CEOs, future millionaire entrepreneurs, man, what it do? How y'all living? How y'all week looking this week? How y'all week going for y'all this week? What's going on with y'all, man? Hey, so I got some good news though. Last Thursday, one of my brothers came home from prison. He came home, last Thursday. That was last Thursday. So he came. So he's going through a program right now. He's going through the halfway house right now, which is a program for him to be released and re-entered back into society within the next 6 months from now. So he came home last Thursday. He did 15 years straight. 15 years straight to the door. It's been a long time coming. He finally home. One of them kind of days. So, but when he do get released, like, it's gonna be up. It's gonna be a party. Like, I'm gonna have a big ass block party. I'm gonna welcome my boy back home, right? You feel me? It's gonna be a big ass block party though. But while he was gone, like I said, he's been gone 15 years. So everything is gonna be new to him. Everything is gonna be different from him. He left the streets in 2008. He just now coming home in 2023. So he in 2008 he caught a robbery case. He was out here. He was living that life. He was wild. He was doing all kind of stuff that he ain't had no business doing. But anywho, he caught those cases. And the crazy part about it is when he got caught. When he got caught in 2008, he didn't even do what they picked him up for. That wasn't. He didn't even do that. He didn't even pull that move. But they picked him up on that charge. He ain't tell. He ain't break the code. He held it down. He took his responsibilities and took accountability like a man, because at the end of the day, even though he didn't do that, he was doing that. He was living that life. He was a cowboy. He was like that. But that's what he was doing. So instead of him, just trying to protect himself and say, "Oh, I ain't did it. He did it. That was him. He ain't do none of that." He took his time. He took it like a man. He accepted the punishment that came with what he was already doing. Like I said, he didn't do that, but he was already living that life. So, once you live in that lifestyle, dog, there's certain rules that apply. You can't be out here telling on people. If you out here living like that, you can't be out here telling on people. You do that, that's your lifestyle. Hey, when the people come pick you up, accept your responsibilities like a man. Listen, hey, take me to my cell. That's all. Call my lawyer. I ain't got nothing to say to y'all. If that's the life that you living, you feel me? But while he was gone, I helped him out a lot. Well, me and my wife, we helped him out a lot. We fixed his credit. We put him as authorized users on our credit card, so he got a nice little decent little score. We opened up a Goldman Sachs account, which is a high yield savings account. We opened up that for him. So as he's in this release program, the next 6 months, he's gonna be working for the next 6 months. The money that he's gonna be making, I already got a plan for him. Hey, bro, you gonna give me half that money. I'm gonna put it in this account for you, and I'm gonna match whatever you give me. I'm gonna match whatever you give me. So when you come home in 6 months, you gonna have what you done saved, what I done put in this account, and then you gonna have what I done helped you out with, what I done matched. You gonna have what you done put in the account, and you gonna have what I done matched, and whatever my wife throw in there. So he gonna be straight. Like I said, he did 15 years. It's gonna be hard readjusting, hard, relearning society, because at this point, 2008, 15 years ago, and ain't shit the same. Everything is different. When he went to prison, social media wasn't popular like that. It wasn't really, people wasn't really walking around here texting and being on Facebook and Instagram and TikToking and all that other stuff. When he left, man, people were still wearing big ass jeans and shirts. So yeah, he got to readjust. He got to get his mind right. He got to refocus. But it's all good though, because he got me, my sister, my other brothers, of course, and then my wife, of course. We all here. My mama, of course. We all hit man, y'all get the picture. But we all here to help him readjust. We all here to help him make sure that 15 years he just did, that was his last stretch. But now we're gonna be here to take care of him though. But that's what you're supposed to do for your people. When your people, if they go away or prison, wherever they do, go off to college, wherever they go, it's your job to support them during their downtime, during their uptime. That's your job to support them. That being my brother, I got to support him. I got to support him. I held him down the whole 15 years he was in there. Called me anytime. I ain't never said no to him. If I ain't had it, I may not have had it right then, but my wife got it. She'll send it right quick. But the whole time he was gone, we kept him straight. We kept his book straight. He ain't really had to want for anything. So I'm gonna keep the same thing going when he get out. As he come home, it's gonna be the same. We gonna show him that same love as we did when he was going away. Cause although, like I said, we visited him, we sent him money, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, he was still kept away from his people, from his kids. Even though there was a choice he made that kept him away from his kids, but at the end of the day, he still was away from his kids. 15 years, like I said, it's a long time. It's a lot of readjusting to do. But that's my good news. I'm happy about that. I'm glad he home. He glad he home. He gonna get a new chance, a second chance at society. He gonna get a second go round. It's up to him to make things right with himself to keep him from going back. But he ain't gonna go back though, because as I said, while he was in there, I was making sure he was meditating. I was making sure that he was reading, making sure that he was working out, making sure that he was keeping his mind free. Although he's in prison, although he was in prison, your physical body, yes, you are in a cage, you are in prison. But your mind, they can never, ever imprison your mind. That's something that's always going to be free. And that's something I always kept in his ear. I always kept telling him, like, yo, you going through this right now, but at the end of the day, you got to think like this. And then over time, as he was going through it, like I said, he ain't bitch, he ain't complain. He just did his time. But over time, he understood as I, was telling him these things. He started to listen, and he started to do it. And then now when he was calling me before, like I said, before he got to this point of where we are now, him going to the halfway house, he would always call me with a positive attitude. Even though he was down, he would always call me with a positive attitude and always let me know or let us know that his spirits was high. So that's a good thing. But I'm glad he home. So I told him, hey, listen, it's stuff that, we did back then that we can't do now. We on a different path. Money is way more accessible than it was in 2008. So we ain't got to live that life no more. We going this way. Let them fools go that way. We going this way. We not going this way. We going this way. But anywho, he back home. Man, listen, I know y'all been, peeping this World War III that, a lot of the media been sharing. They've been talking about, us going to war with or joining forces with Israel and jumping into that. Man, America, stay out of that. That ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Let them handle their beef over there. Let them take care of their business over there. As long as they not on American soil, man, let them do what they do. Let them do what they do. We talking about World War III, man. We been at war. We got problems on top of problems in America. We got problems on top of problems. We already done had the war on drugs. We done had the war on terror. We done had the war on poverty. All these different wars happening in America, and they worrying about what's going on over there. That don't really make sense to me. Like, if y'all feel that make sense to y'all, help me understand. Help me explain it to me why it makes sense. Even when I was in the military, when I was in the Air Force, like when they was what war was about to break out then? I can't even remember, but it was Iraqi freedom that was going on at the time when I was in the Air Force. But they was sending guns and all kind of stuff over there to other countries, training other people military forces on our bases, teaching them about our equipment, teaching them about our stuff and what's going on in our hangars, what's going on on our flight line. Like, nah, we shouldn't be doing none of that. We shouldn't be teaching them anything that's helping us. I understand that you have to have alliances. You gotta have other people that's gonna help you out. You gotta have other big brothers. I understand you gotta have somebody to step in sometimes to say, hey, nah, we ain't doing it like that. Y'all ain't gonna jump on them. I understand that. But this ain't one of them times. They all the way over there, they got their own stuff going on. Them people got their own life. Let them handle their business how they see fit. Why we got to stick our nose in it? Why we got to do that to our people? Why we got to send our soldiers in there to handle some stuff that ain't got nothing to do with us? Ain't got nothing to do with us. Even though we going through this war, guess what though? The stock market, they on sale right now. Anytime there's blood in the street, anytime there's something going on in the economy, it affects us. It's going to affect a lot of things. As y'all already see, it's affecting the price of gas. It's affecting the price of food, all that good stuff. But it's also affecting the price of stocks. It's also affecting the price of stocks. Now, what I plan to do is, I've been paying attention to a lot of this stuff. I've been doing my own research, which you should do as well. I've been doing my own research. And don't get it twisted. I am not telling y'all to buy no stocks. I'm not telling y'all to do anything that I'm not doing. I'm not telling y'all to do none of that stuff. But listen, what I'm doing is I've been watching all the stock. I'm buying 2 stock per month. 2 stock per month. Now, Apple right now is $170.77. Amazon is $133.09. Google, $124.08. Nike, $102.77. Now, that's not counting the other ones I done looked at. That's just the 4 major ones that I know y'all know what these are. All y'all got Apple iPhones. All y'all got Apple products. All y'all got Apple earbuds. All y'all got all that stuff. Apple earbuds. All y'all got all that stuff. You got Jordans. You got Air Force Ones, Air Maxes. No, that's to black folks. That's regular household stuff. Jordans, Air Force Ones, and Air Maxes. That's regular household stuff. And then you got Amazon. All y'all ordering everything off Amazon. Amazon getting all y'all money. And then y'all use Google every day. I'm just saying, a lot of stuff that, and I can hear y'all saying, I can't afford it. I can't get no stock right now. I can't do none of that. Listen, man, you gotta plan. Whatever you're trying to do, you gotta plan it. You gotta map it out. You can buy purses. You can buy shoes. You can buy all this other stuff off Amazon that you do not need. You don't need half the stuff that you purchase. Half the $133 for Amazon stock. You get to own a piece of the company for $133. That's a good deal to me. Sound like a good deal to me. Like I said, I'm purchasing 2 every month. 2 stocks every month. Whatever it is, I might focus on buying Apple 1 month. Or I might focus on buying Amazon 1 month. Focus on buying Google 1 month. Focus on buying Nike 1 month. Whatever it is. Or I might focus on buying that stock 3 months in. I might buy a few shares of it. I don't know, but I'm just telling you, I'm going to purchase 2 stock a month. 2 stock a month. I open up me a Charles Schwab account. So Charles Schwab is they just bought out TD Ameritrade. Well, they didn't just do it, but they bought out TD Ameritrade, which is it's a trader account. You go in there, you put money in it, and you purchase the stocks. You purchase or trade stock. The stock I just gave you. Listen, man, a quick Google search, man, you can see all of this information. A quick Google search, you can see all this information. Or if not, listen to my boy, the Wall Street Trapper. This is where I learned all this information from myself. Is from Trap. So shout out to the Wall Street Trapper. But man, he got a beginner course that I purchased from him a while back. That just, man, it's mind blowing about the stuff that we don't know. The stuff that we don't know, this shit is mind blowing. Just the simple stuff. Like he got a beginner's course. It's like $900 or $1,000, $1,200, something like that. It don't cost that much. But I purchased it like last year sometime. Was that yeah, that was last year. So I went through the course, did everything, that he was telling us to do. And then now I'm applying it into my everyday life. And I also watch him every Tuesday. Tuesday on Trapping Tuesday. I think it come on at 7 o'clock. But every Tuesday I watch him. I stay up to date on what's going on. I stay up to date on how the stocks are fluctuating. I'm not telling you to watch this stuff, but listen, if you understand how this stuff moves and how it circulates, the problems that we have in our households, the problems of us living paycheck to paycheck, that won't be a thing. That won't affect us. That won't bother us if we paying attention to the stuff that I'm telling you. Find your own way, whatever works for you, but figure it out. It's ways out there. Again, I'm purchasing 2 stocks a month. So at the end of the month, not at the end of the month, at the end of the year, 2 times 12, that's 24 stocks I done purchased. Man, listen, I'm being intentional about putting myself and my family in a prominent position. I'm being intentional about that. And that's something that you should be intentional about as well. I'm not telling you to get into stock because that may not be for you. You need to figure out what works best for you. If it's you getting into real estate, if it's you getting into the stock market, whatever it is, figure it out. You need to figure out what works for you. Start small. Listen, man, y'all got the money. Y'all got it. We spent black Americans, black Americans, yeah, the ones that look like me. We spend more money than any race or any group of people on the planet. So y'all got the money. We just ain't doing the right shit with it. But y'all got the money. You may be living check to check, but you finding a way to go to the club. You finding a way to get you and your kids them Jordans. You finding a way to order that shit off Amazon. Come on now. Hey, let's get with the program. Like we gotta establish something that's gonna get us ahead of the curve. Like we way behind the curve. If you're not gonna do it for yourself, do it for your kids. Get these stocks for your kids and put them in their name, and watch how they appreciate you when they turn 21. Watch how they appreciate you when they become of age to understand how to spend money, to understand that my mom and my daddy left me XYZ. My mom and my daddy didn't let me struggle. They didn't let me get it out the mud. They let me. Hey, they put me up here. They put me up here. The biggest investment is you though. Out of all that stuff I just said, as far as the stocks, the Goldman Sachs account, listen, The biggest investment is you. If you don't have the money or don't want to put the money in the stock market, invest the money into you. Y'all want to be CEOs? You want to be entrepreneurs? Invest that money into you. You want to be a millionaire? Invest that money into you. Invest that money into you. Invest that money into your education, your knowledge. Not saying like a school education. If you choose to go back to school, if you have to go back to school, go back to school. That's cool. That's on you. Do what you do. But invest that money into you. I just said I bought Trap Course last year for like $1,200. It might have been $900. I can't really remember, but it was between $900 and $1,200. This what was that? July? Yeah, July. My wife and I, we went to David Shan's podcast summit. We spent money to go there. That's me investing into myself, investing into my business, investing into my brand, investing into me taking my life and my family life to the next level. I don't know about y'all, but I can't do the struggle stuff. I can't do the check stuff. I can't do the nothing in my pocket stuff. I can't do that. I can't do it. We too old for that. We too old for that. So to get into some other news outside of the investments, speaking of investments, we all like to buy houses, right? This is not a good time for you to purchase a house. This is not a good time for you to purchase a house. You do your own research on why it's not a good time, but inflation in the housing market, crazy. Shit crazy. Man, listen, the mortgage rates, they still on the rise. Mortgage rates are right now, 7.63%. October 14th, they were 7.57%. Last year this time, they were 6.94%. Listen, man. It's getting spooky, it's getting crazy. The economy getting ugly. Ugly. The economy getting ugly. The economy getting ugly. It costs 52% more to buy a house than it does to rent an apartment. For those of y'all who didn't hear me, for those of y'all in the back, it costs 52% more to buy than it does to rent an apartment. Now, in 2020, 2020. In 2020, the average house sold for $150,000. In 2023, the average house sells for $400,000. That ain't even apples and oranges. Hey, listen, man. Hey, it's getting crazy out there, man. That's not even comparable. Like that's crazy. The average house in 2020 sold between $150,000 and $200,000. This average house in this market, that same house, $150,000, $200,000, is at $400,000. Is at $400,000. Now, don't even start on the car market. The car market is terrible. The average new car payment is $730. That's the average new car payment. The average used car payment is $530. Now, I used to sell a bunch of $10,000 cars, a bunch of cars that cost less than $15,000. Because you can get people in them for $200, $300. So the rule of thumb used to be every $10,000 would equate to about a $200 payment, give or take $10 to $20 due to credit. Give or take $10 to $20. Now that was like in probably 2020, 2019. The average payment, average $10,000, every $10,000 finance was a $200 payment. Give or take $10 to $20. Give or take $10 to $20, depending on credit. Them same people will come ask me now, hey man, can you get me a $10,000 car? Yeah, I can get you a $10,000 car. I can get it for you. Hey, well, is the payment gonna be around $200? What can I get? What can I get for around $200? You can get the hell out of my face. That's what you can do. You can get the hell out of my face. You can't. Those $200 days, those $200 monthly payments, those $300 monthly payments, that's over with. That ain't coming back. Not right now, anyways. Listen, new cars. We talking about a new Honda being $35,000. Man, what? Who buying? Now Honda nice. Hey, listen, I ain't got nothing bad to say about Honda. Nothing bad to say about Honda. They built the Honda like a tank. But $40,000 for a Honda? Man, come on, man. A SRT Charger costs $45,000. We talking $40,000 for a Honda, a V6 or a 4-cylinder? Hey, listen, man, we not doing that. We not going for none of that. That's crazy. I mean, we still got to drive. We still got to have somewhere to live, but you better find you something to rent, and you better find you a little putt until shit get better. Hey man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like if you got a car right now and it's running okay and it's running good and you ain't got no problems out of it, don't you trade that car in. Don't you get rid of that car. Don't you turn that car in and get that high ass payment right now. Shit going on, we can't afford it. Don't do it. Leave them cars on the lot. They'll be all right. Don't go out and spend extra income monthly on something that you can't afford. Nah, man, come on, man. We not doing none of that. But hey, listen, new cars, used cars, the prices is up. And listen, student loans, man. Listen, man. They kind of pissed me off the other day. I call these fools. I call the student loan people, and my student loans through Ed Financial, somebody. But I call these fools, man, trying to get a deferment. Trying to tell them, like, man, I ain't got no job. I ain't got no money coming in, all this stuff. Because I'm not trying to pay that stuff right now. I'm trying to pay other stuff. I'm doing other stuff. I'm trying to pay off some other debt. So I don't want to worry about student loans right now. If they can defer them, defer them. Man, I got them people on the phone, man. Them fools talking about, oh, I'm sorry, we can't defer any loans right now because of XYZ, because of this, that. And we just need you to start making your payments starting November 1st. Damn. Didn't Joe Biden just send $105 billion over to Ukraine in Israel? Didn't he just send $105 billion over there? What you mean you can't defer my student loans? Don't you see how high gas is? Don't you see how high food is right now, lady? Like, people got real life shit going on and you talking about you can't defer them. What you mean? She said she could not defer my loans, but these fools just gave $105 billion to them fools overseas, man. What about us? What about the people in America? Why can't we get one of them billions? You know how far $1 billion would take us? I don't think a lot of people understand how much $1 billion is. $1 billion could take care of my family probably for the rest of for the next 100 years. $1 billion. The next 100 years. That's generational wealth if I had $1 billion. We're not talking about 1 million. We're talking about 1 billion. You got to go through 999 million first to get to 1 billion. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of resources. That's a lot of income. That's a lot of assets. And if I had $1 billion, we ain't never going broke. We gonna be like the Rockefellers. We rich for generations on top of generations. 6 generations in, we still spending off that one check. Give me $1 billion. I'm gonna show you what to do with it. But listen, nah, man, they told me talking about they can't defer my loans. Like, what you mean? Y'all giving away money every day. What about us? But that's what they said. That's what they said. Hey, so I'm gonna give y'all 4 ways to beat the Matrix. And the Matrix is you having to go to work 40 years. You having to go to work 40 years. You retiring on 40% of your income. Working 40 hours a day. Now, in my opinion, that's slavery, but we're not about to talk about that right now. But, excuse me. 4 ways to beat the Matrix. Because if you haven't noticed, yes, you are in the matrix. Because that's what America wants you to do. America wants you to live in a society that everybody looks and sound the same and follow they bullshit. And they don't want you to pay attention to what they doing. Those are the people that's in the matrix. Those are the people that's plugged up. So in order for you to get out the matrix, guess what you need to do? The first thing out of 4 ways, the first thing you need to do is you need to start believing in yourself. You need to start believing in yourself. The first step of breaking free is to believe in yourself. To remove yourself from to unplug yourself from the matrix, to get out of society's view, you need to start thinking for yourself. Start thinking for yourself. Start believing in yourself. Do your own research. Don't take their word. Don't take nobody's word for it. Take your own word, but start believing in yourself. If you know you can do it, do it. Don't let nobody deter you from what you need to do. Don't let nobody deter you from your dreams. Believe in yourself. You can do it. If you want to do it, you can do it. You can do it. You can definitely do it. But you got to know that you can do it first. Me? Listen. I go out and get the information from the people who got it, and I bring it back to y'all, to us. I bring it back to us, for us. I bring it back for us. I'm going out and getting the information because I believe in myself. I believe I can do it. 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 2, the second thing you need to do, number 2, you need to change your mindset. You need to adopt the growth mindset. Growth mindset is you accept challenges, or you embrace challenges, and you accept all failure. You can't move on. You can't be great unless you fail. And y'all may disagree with me. Y'all may not agree with me on that, but if you don't go through something, how are you gonna get to the next level? Because anything that's worth chasing, anything that's great, anything that you feel or deem as great, it's a possibility that you can fail. It's a possibility that you may not do it. It's a possibility that you may not achieve the outcomes in the time that you want to achieve the outcomes. But you got to embrace those challenges. You got to accept all failure, because once you fail, that's just like if somebody punched you in the face right now. If you get punched and you hit the ground and you just stay on the ground, you lost. Or if you get punched, somebody hit you, you take off running, you lost. You ran from the fight, you lost. But if somebody punch you, they might even knock you down. They hit you, you get back up and you start fighting. You handle your business. You stand on your shit. Did you really lose? Not in my book, you didn't. He may have hit you, but the fact that you didn't run, the fact that you didn't abandon the assignment, the fact that you got up and you got right. In my book, you didn't lose. In my book, you didn't lose, and that's what entrepreneurship is. Entrepreneurship gonna smack you in the face. It's gonna get on you. But what you gonna do when life start life, and what you gonna do when entrepreneurship, when that door start to close or the lights start to dim? What you gonna do to turn the lights back on? You got to get out there and get after it. If you fail, it's not really a failure. If you dust yourself off, readjust, and apply pressure and keep going, that's not really a failure. You had a roadblock, you had a speed bump, but you just had to shake it off and readjust and just keep going. That's why I said you got to change your mindset. You got to adopt the growth mindset. The people with the growth mindset, they already understand this. They understand this. They understand that life is gonna happen, and when it does happen, I got to keep going. That's the growth mindset. Number 3, you need to set specific goals. We talk about this all the time. SMART goals. Me and my family, we just set SMART goals. What's today's date? The 31st. So we set SMART goals last week sometime. But our goals are going from October to January, the end of January. That's going to be the end of our quarter. That's going to be the end of our goals. But you got to be specific about what you're trying to do. Smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relatable, or realistic, and time bound. So the specific part, what do you want to accomplish? What are you trying to do? What are you attempting to do? The measurability, how much? How long is it going to take me? What I got to do? How much pressure I got to apply to get to where I'm trying to go? What do I have to do? How many times I got to do it to get to where I'm trying to go? Achievable. Hey, listen, that speaks within itself. Is the goal achievable? How can you accomplish this goal? How realistic is this goal? How achievable is this goal? Is this something that you can do? So with our goals, like I said, they end in January. Is this something that you can do within 3 months? Is this achievable within the time frame that you got? That's achievable. That's what it is. Self-explanatory. So relatable, realistic. So yeah, relatable, realistic. Is this the right time for me to do it? Is this goal relevant to the overall big picture? Is this goal relevant to the overall big picture? That's what that is. That's what the R means. Time bound. When are you gonna complete this goal? What's your time frame? What's your deadline? These goals, 3-month goals, January 30th. That's our end date for us. January 30th. So at January 30th, we're gonna go over what we accomplished. We're gonna see how far we done got. And then February 1st, wait, is it 31 days in January? It is 31 days in January. So January 31st, we gonna set new goals. And then we're gonna start all over again. Start all over again, do the same thing, start all over again. So those are the 4 things that you need to do if you're trying to release yourself out of the matrix. Start believing in yourself, 1. 2, change your mindset. Adopt the growth mindset. 3, set specific goals. Oh, I forgot one, my bad. So number 4 is you need to become financially free. Your debt. Get control of your debt. Household debt is up to $17 trillion right now. So everybody got debt. So what my wife and I did, what we did was we got all our debt. We put all our debt together, and then I'm giving $400 every week towards debt, which is $1,600 a month. And she's gonna give me $1,000 every month for debt, whatever debt we got. That's $2,600. That's our plan. We're gonna take $2,600 and keep pounding on that debt until we get it clear. Once you get your debt free, once you get your debt clear, it's time to turn it up. It's time to turn it up. Becoming financially free, you need to become an entrepreneur. Become that CEO. Run it up. Like, listen, man, put your foot on their neck. Apply big pressure. Whatever your business is, if you got a service-based business, if you got a products-based business, whatever you do in your business, apply pressure. Whatever you do, even if you at your job, man, go out there and collect overtime. Go out there and make them folks run you off their job. Run the bag up, man. Once you get debt free, run the bag up. Run the bag up. Listen, man, I've been telling y'all about all this stuff that we got going on in America. They talking about World War III, even though we already been at war. We at war with student loans. These fools trying to make me pay student loans, but whatever. I took the student loan debt out, so I gotta repay my debt. It's all good. But they could have deferred them for a little bit. Ed Financial, listen, I'm on y'all ass. Y'all could have deferred these loans a little bit, but it's all good. Anyways, like I was saying, run your money up. It's getting harder and harder and harder. And this year has showed us that. The housing market, like I said, 7.63% as of today. October 14th, it was 7.57%. Last year this time, 6.94%. New car prices, new car payments up to $730. Monthly average used cars $530. Average payment. So a lot of people are paying these prices. A lot of people is struggling with student loans. A lot of people is struggling with household debt. You have to get this money. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you. Ain't nobody gonna come back and save you. Ain't nobody gonna help you out of your predicament. The only person who can help you out of that predicament is you. But you gotta stop the bullshit. You gotta stop giving your time, your energy to your homegirls, your homeboys. Y'all on the phone all night. Y'all talking about nonsense. Y'all going to party at clubs. Y'all going to do whatever. Sit your butt down. Get you a notepad. I got a couple notepads. Get you a notepad. Get you a book. Start reading a book. Write down what you done read in the book. Take notes on the book that you done read. That's how you get far. I asked this dude one time when I was selling cars for the dealership. I asked this dude. He was making, on paper, he was showing me that he was making like $7 million. That's what he said he was making, $7 million. I've asked him. I'm like, bro, like, how you get to where you got? How did you achieve all of this stuff that you have now? Did your family give it to you? Did you inherit this? Like, how did you come about this information? How did you come about the money, or how did you come about the knowledge that got you to millionaire status? Man, he gave me a stupid simple answer. And the answer that he gave me was, you need to read more. Open your mind up to different shit. Open your mind up to expose yourself to different stuff. Travel. Get out of your city. Get out of your city. Expose yourself to different books. Read. See what millionaires are reading. See what millionaires are doing. Expose yourself to different stuff. Get out of your city. Get from around the people that you hung around all your life. And get out of your environment. That's how you, for one, once you get out of your environment, you're going to change your mindset. Everything that once was exists no more once you start living in a different environment. And I'm the product of that. I can 100% say that is true. Because once I got from the places I was at, my mind expanded like crazy. And it's crazy because I was just talking to my brother about this the other day. Most black men, most black Americans, most black people that look like me, most black Americans, most of them, most men don't leave their city or their hometown or wherever they from until they go to prison. That is sad to say. My brother did not leave until he went to prison, until he got on that state bus that shipped him to wherever, behind God's back, Timbuktu, Georgia. When they sent him off, that was the only time he got out of Augusta. It was the only time he got out of Augusta. Living wise anyways. Like, he been in his environment, in his area the whole time. And I can't even tell you how many people I done met that, and when I lived in Charleston, there was so many people, a lot of people that I met. I ain't gonna say so many, but it was a lot of people I met that, damn, bro, I ain't never been to this part of Charleston. I ain't never been to this part of South Carolina. I ain't never been. It'll be people from North Charleston who say, I ain't never been to Charleston, or people from Charleston, I ain't never been to North Charleston. Man, that's the other half of your city. What you mean you ain't never been across the bridge? But that's how a lot of us think. When we in our environments, we don't worry about shit else but what's going on in our environment. And even then, we don't even worry about what's going on in our environments. But I say that to say, man, you got to get exposure. You got to get around people who are different from you, who come from different backgrounds, who come from different walks of life. Because those people, we may look at them as being lame or whatever, but you might can learn something from them people. You might can learn something from somebody across the tracks that don't look like you. But you got to get out of your environment first. You got to get exposed to the information first. You got to get exposed to the information first. It all comes from exposure. And that's what he told me. He said, you got to get exposed. You got to get out of your city. You got to go out and meet new people. Go out and network. Read. Find you a book. Read it. Take notes on it. And then apply what you done read. He been telling me that for a while. He told me that twice because I sold 2 cars for him. 2 cars to him. But that's what I do now. For sure, that's what I do now. I've been doing that for 2023. So yeah, probably the last 2.5, 3 years. Yep, probably the last 2.5, 3 years. I read a lot. I'm a part of David Shan's morning meetup. We read 15 books a year. We read 15 books a year. Now, I'm not telling you got to read 15 books a year, but the average person only read 1 book a year. So even if you read a book every 3 months, you still doing better. Even if you read a book every 6 months, you still doing better than 80% of people in America. Because 80% of people in America ain't reading. 80%, I'm going to take that number up to 90%. I'm going to say 90-some% of people ain't reading. Because we too busy on social media. We too busy scrolling Facebook. We too busy worried about what's going on in the NBA, what's going on in the NFL. I watch the NFL. I watch football. I watch basketball. I watch all the entertaining stuff. But that comes second. That comes second after I done read, after I done learned something, after I done got exposed to something different. That comes last. I don't worry about that stuff until it's time for that. I set aside time for me to look at entertainment, and I set aside time for me to study. You can do both. You don't have to just watch entertainment or entertaining stuff, or you don't have to just read stuff that's not entertaining. You don't have to. You can do both. It's not that hard. When you're not reading, block out you some time, 15, 20 minutes as your reset time, your relax time. Watch some entertaining. I watch Country Wayne skits all the time, but I don't watch his skits until I get finished doing what I'm doing. I gotta do me first, do for me first, and then I do all that other stuff. Hey, but listen, we're about to get out of here. The hardest part of the journey is to take the first step. The hardest part of the journey is to take the first step. You gotta believe in yourself. When you believe in you, the world gonna believe in you. The world gonna believe in you. You just gotta believe in you first. But anyways, man, we about to get out of here. I appreciate y'all for spending some time with me. I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank y'all for tuning in to Side Hustle the CEO. Hey, until next time, hey, let's get this money. Let's get this money. I'll holler at you.